I'm Chris with Tennis Warehouse. I'm here with Dennis from Head. And Dennis is going to take us through the new 4-in-1 machine, kind of explain what you can do with it for both tennis and pickleball, right? So let's have a look.
So this is basically the new 4-in-1 machine that we just introduced here together with you, basically globally. So it's available right now for everyone worldwide. So what we wanted to accomplish is a machine that can actually measure the weight, the static weight, the balance, the twist weight, and the swing weight of any racket sports, racket or paddle, basically. And here, obviously, it's very important to be able to measure tennis and also pickleball paddles. So I will just get started.
Yep.
So we turn on the machine, it lights up nicely. And then we have this protection here on top because the balance is actually measured digitally. So basically we have two scales on the handle and on the top. So we remove this. And so basically this is something what we need to either measure a pickleball paddle, because pickleball paddles are shorter. So to measure on these two scales, we need to flip this over so it can get measured here. And then for tennis, you flip this over and the machine detects it that we are now measuring a longer racket, basically, so it does the calculation as well, right? So now we can proceed with measuring balance, and while it measures the balance, it will also tell us the weight, the static weight.
Now we're going to customize this head speed, right? Tell us a little bit about the spec we're going to customize it to and whose spec it might be.
Yeah, we had the idea when we discussed this whole thing that we wanted to show to our customers and to our listeners that we customize a racket off the shelf to the specs of a current Australian Open champion, Grand Slam champion. So I took this Speed MP off the shelf. We're going to measure it and then we will adjust it to the right specs as best as we can on what he is playing.
All right, let's get it started.
All right, so we will measure now the balance and the static weight. So I put this racket on here. Now you see the machine is working. One thing I have to mention in here is that it's not the perfect environment, obviously, here for doing all of this to the absolute perfection, because the ground is a little bit shaky, the table is shaky. So if anyone installed this kind of machine, they should take care that it's a solid table, no shaking on the ground, and in perfect environment, there's also no humidity or a consistent temperature. Just wanted to mention it, that if our guys comment on oh, what is he doing and all this.
So just to be clear, we're inside the Tennis Warehouse retail tent at the BNP Paribas Open. There's already a ton of people behind us over there shopping, and so we're getting the floor's moving basically from all the people coming and going. So okay, so we've got the weight, we've got the balance.
Correct. So what we now know from the weight, we have 304 is our target weight roughly, and so we have a wiggle room of working around with 3.7, nearly 4 grams that we need to distribute on the racket. We need to get a little bit down in the balance because we should target to 322 around. And now we need to measure the swing weight. So it shows now the twist weight, but the machine will detect that we do the swing weight and that pops over. So here, what I didn't do, I didn't press the button, but the machine detects it automatically, so it's no problem.
So 298.
298, we need to get to 301.
Okay.
So we have now two options basically to customize this for the consumer to get to the spec. So we could, one gram of lead tape on 12 o'clock means 3 points in swing weight. So we can make this easy and we can put 1 gram up here, and then we would have the right swing weight, and then we would put the rest of the weight on a pretty neutral spot here, above the handle, or if we need to adjust it a little bit to go down with the balance, we go down to the handle. Here on this racket, we will use lead tape. You can also, at the head rackets, we have the butt caps that you can remove the inserts, and you could insert silicone, for example, if you like.
Or tungsten putty.
Or tungsten putty, exactly. The other part is, if you really want this to be close to what he's playing, he's actually putting his lead tape stripes rather here on the side in 3 and 9. The whole purpose of this is also to increase the torsional stability, which we then can also measure in terms of the twist weight. First place, you target the weight, the balance, and then the swing weight, and then you look at the torsional weight. But like we can show it here, what this uncustomized racket has as torsional.
So this is a really cool feature because before, when we used an RDC, we could only do swing weight, but now we can do twist weight. Yeah.
It's kind of the first, let's say, commercial machine that has everything in once. There are obviously machines outside, but like you would probably fill out the table here with all the different devices. So that's kind of the first time like fully compressed into one device. So 14.9 is like the twist weight. So we will customize. And again, in these surroundings, to be fast, I prepared a little bit of the snippets that we need for the lead tape. So I will do it the way he does it. So he usually goes a little bit above the 3 and 9 o'clock position. You go close to the grommets. So we put it on. So what you can also do is like you can, if you want to check it out first where you want to put the lead tape and everything, you can use PADI, for example, put it on the various spots, measure it, and afterwards you install the lead tape.
Yep.
So just to be sure. That's most of how the customizers are doing it, actually, to be sure. At the end, it's relatively simple physics where you put it and it always depends on what you try to achieve.
When I'm customizing for myself, sometimes I'll put a tungsten tape on.
Yeah.
And I'll just use other tape to hold it down while I
Correct.
get the, does it feel right when I'm swinging it? And then
Correct. So
when
now
I've got it dialed, I can take the backing off.
let's see if we got the swing weight already close. I again made the mistake, didn't press the button, but it detects it. So we are missing like roughly 1 point, which to an extent is even okay. Like what we experience working with the players and like kind of what they feel is like everything above 2 points different on swing weight, a real sensitive player would detect. What's sometimes interesting is with players is like they get their rackets, we customize them on spot, and then they start working around with their grips, with their over grips, or they add like some tape on the bottom of the butt cap, and you ask these guys of like, oh, you just said us that you are super sensitive and you're wrapping this around. Oh, well, yeah, I need this, but you're changing the specs, and then they are like get a little bit confused. So it's kind of funny how much this sometimes also happens in the head of the player.
Yep.
All right, we reset now. We're gonna see where we end up with the weight.
So you set it right up against the stop and then it moves out of the way, right?
It moves out, then it measures. So we have another 2 gram, but we also need to go down with the balance. So again, here, like usually probably if I would be, let's say, in a work environment, like I would remove the clicking part, I would put in silicone and would be fast. So as we are here, I'm quickly removing the grip.
The one advantage of lead over the tungsten is it's so thin that you can do this and you don't feel it.
Yeah. But tungsten or lead tape, you also need to be careful. Like, do you always wash your hands? It's not a nice material to actually work with. So we will put 1 gram down here. We do a very careful re-gripping.
You're doing a great job then.
So we end up properly again. I'm gonna reuse the finishing tape. We probably have to remove it 1 more time anyways. So we reset again. Well, let's see what it says. So we are getting there. We can add another gram down here. It's quite incredible. Like you see the weight and the swing weight and stuff. Like most people would be expecting that a guy like him would play a super heavy racket and like potentially high swing weight and everything. But no, this is a racket that pretty much off the shelf. You see like that you don't need to do even a lot of customizing with it. So it's kind of impressive what he gets out of this racket. Like he uses Hawk Touch on it and a full bed, usually strings around 28 kilos, which is super tight. And still he has that tremendous amount of power.
Yeah, his ability to go from full defense to then hit a really offensive shot is crazy, yeah.
All right, we're here. Let's see. I think we are pretty close right now for now. Maybe we can even auction this racket off if you like. If somebody wants to have it like live customized here, like you guys can think about it, how you get it to somebody who's watching the video.
Okay, yeah, check our Instagram channel and we'll put it on there and you can enter to win.
So basically this is the specs that he's here. We now would I would probably like take the 0.3 and put it like somewhere here so it's more or less balanced neutral. Swing weight is on point, the weight is on point, so it's technically the specs that he is playing on a Speed MP here.
And then he's adding an overgrip?
He's adding the Prestige Pro actually, like the Head Prestige Pro. He likes that tacky, super tacky feel.
Yep.
So it's our most tacky grip, yep. He reps it actually pretty normal. Some players you see, even when they play double hand backhands, you have some players who go up here, even above the grip basically. So if you look at who's the best example, like Novak or even Andy Murray, like they wrap up their grip pretty high because of the double-handed backhand. He's pretty like usual. One thing we should show is like the change in the twist weight. Now that we added the lead tape here, so again I forgot to press the button. So you see like it increased the twist weight, which means like when you hit full speed and you hit slightly off center, the racket will do less twisting the higher that value goes. But it will also have impact on how easy you can swing it. So like you always want to find the right balance.
Yeah, it's that balance between maneuverability and stability.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking us through the machine. Now we offer a full customization service at Tennis Warehouse. You can call in and we can match rackets. We can build a racket to spec for you. We have the 4-in-1 machine back at Tennis Warehouse as well as some trained racket experts that know how to use it. And we're also going to be offering this machine in the future on our website as well. So it'll be available for sale if you want to have one if you're a pro shop or just a home string. I think it's a great machine to have.
Definitely.